Okay, so as a review, we're working on our Soundtrap podcast. So everybody needs to go to the Canvas page. When you go to the Canvas page, all your Soundtrap processes is right here. Okay, again, I don't want anybody talking. Okay, this is the example that you can listen to, and these are the steps. And I'm going to walk you through these steps right now to make it simple. Okay, now, once you go to your Soundtrap, and each class has their own group. You need to click on the link here, and there's the code for 7th grade. 8th grade's got a different code, 6th grade's got a different code. Okay, so you can enter the studio once it opens. So I'm going to enter the studio. Okay, now let's go back and look. And you're going to click on podcast once it opens. Okay, so it's going to open up for us. And it's going to, sometimes it takes a little while today. It's taking a little longer. You see music and podcast. So you're going to click on podcast. Now, before you do anything, if you notice on the steps, it says, where it says Untitled Podcast, rename your first and last, then list the date as 9/12/22, and then podcast. So in this case, I'm going to label it my name. I've asked y'all not to talk. 9/12/22 podcast. Okay? Now let's go back to our steps. It says, then you will add a new track and then select voice and microphones. So select a new track, voice and microphones. Now if you notice, I am walking through the steps that I have listed for you in the Canvas. So in the future, you need to go through the Canvas for your step-by-step process. Okay? Now, before you begin recording, my recommendation was this. You need to go to your Waffle and create a Google Doc for your workflow or your brainstorm process. Okay? For your brainstorm. All right? Now, this is my brainstorm process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that right there, Control-C, and I'm going to paste it right here so it's the same thing. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do also is I'm going to come right here and I'm going to copy these. Okay? And I'm going to paste these to my Google Doc. Okay? Does that make sense? Now, when I get done, I can use this as my template. So let's say I'm done. Okay? Now I'm going to go to Soundtrap and I'm ready to start recording. So when I hit start recording, it's going to give me a 3, 2, 1, and now I'm going. And then I'm going to start going through my workflow. My name is Jeremy McGuire, and I am the teacher at Crawford Middle School. What I love the most about Crawford, and then I'm going to finish that. So you are all, the most important part of the project is what you can put here. When you're done with it, you're going to hit stop. It's already named. And then you're going to go File, Export. Export is an MP3. So let me save it one more time since I've added it. You got to save the project. Okay. Now, on that note, it's very important that you follow the guidelines. And this is the steps in Spanish. Same way. Okay. Now, I'm going to export this. Now, if you want to see what it says, or excuse me, listen to what you've done, click the X, and there it is. I'm going to move this over. I can extend this. If I don't like it, I can hit the backspace and delete it. I want to delete the track. I can delete the track. Okay, so now I'm going to go File. It's time for me to submit it. I'm going to hit File, Export as an MP3. Okay. Let me save it. You're gonna save it, and then export as an MP3. Now it's mixing, so when you export that as an MP3, then I'm gonna go back to the Canvas page, and I'll show you what it looks like as a student view. And then I'm going to start submitting the assignment. Click Choose File, and then in that case, you're going to hit the recents, and that's the most recent thing that was downloaded. Okay, you click on that and submit, and then you have your points. Now I'm going to try it again and see if it's mixed yet, just so you can see. And there it is. Okay, so this looks a little different because I'm on IFP, the ViewSonic, but I'm going to choose the file, and then in this case, mine's in the downloads, and I'll find it. So it's somewhere in the downloads, but it looks a little different than your Chromebook. Then you submit it, and you're done. Okay. Again, go back and look at the Canvas, make sure you understand, and you should be